Alright guys, I'm gonna get out of this swamp before I talk to you because I'm getting eaten alive. Hey everyone, I'm Chris and I have just left the mainland on the little inflatable and made it to Hinchinbrook Island, and this is in northern Queensland, Australia. Oh, just get my breath back. I am on a very special mission today. I am hunting for a World War II B24 American built Liberator bomber. Now, somewhere behind me is Mount Straloch. Not really tall, but it's at 900 meters and I've just started at sea level, so I've got a bit of a hike and a thrash through some serious bush and up a riverbed and try and find this bomber. Now, its name was the Texas Terror, and sadly in 1942 during World War II this bomber was heading towards Papua New Guinea with a group of 12 people, brand new bomber. They struck a period of really poor weather, and in December 1942 the Liberator struck the side of Strelok at full speed, killing all 12 crewmen on board. Now interestingly, they were heading towards the Iron Range up in far north Queensland before they would head off into Papua New Guinea to fight the Japanese, and it was actually carrying a bunch of payroll as well. Now it's so remote up here that the bomber was not discovered till 2 years later in 1944, when two Aboriginal bushmen who were looking for tin up in these rivers discovered some burnt American currency. That enabled the authorities to narrow down the search. Now in 1944, when they discovered the bomber, the Australian Federal Police did a manhunt and they found two blokes not too far from here with over $100,000 in currency. So very crazy story and incredibly sad. A lot of bombers went down in these parts in North Queensland. They didn't have the right charts and the weather would often turn really bad. So unfortunately, the crewmen had no idea that this mountain, Mount Straloch, was even here. So I'm going to try and find it today. Now it has been searched before, but it is now known as one of the best wreckages that you can actually go see up close and personal of World War II aircraft in the world, and especially here in the Pacific. So that is my mission today. I'm getting smashed by midges and mosquitoes, so I'm going to power through and try and find this mountain and then get back before dark. Getting absolutely smashed by midges and mosquitoes here, so I'm looking forward to getting a bit higher. It's not a good start. Now someone's left what's called surveyor's tape to try and help explorers to find this wreckage, so I'm hoping it's not going to be too difficult to find. I know I've just got to head up a river once I find it, but I've also mapped the whole thing out on captured. I've now mapped the whole thing out on my GPS, and you saw then I messaged my fiancée Ange to let her know I'd parked up the boat. So you would have seen me really fumbling around there when I parked the boat up, because I just don't want to spend much time sitting in that inflatable in the water, because this is serious croc country through here, and I don't think my little boat would be up to the task if a big one started chomping at me. How's that for a bird's nest? Far out. I don't know what that is. That is made by birds. It is huge. My trick for bush like this is hand out in front catches all the spider webs if you don't have a good stick. Otherwise you're just eating little spiders all over your face. And as we know, some of them are probably going to be venomous. Alright, here's our river. this is what I was after. We're on the right track. Okay, we've found the river. Now, this should basically lead me all the way up to the mountain to the crash site. So I'm going to have some steep, serious terrain to go on. Really poured last night, so these rocks are slipperier than they needed to be. So I just need to keep a good footing and not roll my ankle. I've got some medical supplies in my bag just in case. I reckon we'll be good. All right, let's do it. Sadly, a Australian explorer, his name I can't think of right now, I'll put it on the screen. He tragically lost both his legs doing this mission, I believe. I know it was on Hinchinbrook. Had both his legs crushed by a falling boulder that moved on this riverbed, and he had to be flown to hospital and had both his legs amputated. So sounds like a freak accident, but it's pretty inhospitable terrain up here, and it is really hot. My fiance is 23 weeks pregnant, Ange, so it's nice to be able to get this little solo trip in before baby arrives, because I don't think I'll have as much spare time on my hands after that. But this is just beautiful, really magical. Which way? Beautiful. Little turtle just jumped in off the rock, swam underneath, and you probably can't tell on the GoPro, I can see a yabby straight through there, which is like a little freshwater crayfish kind of thing. But this water just looks so inviting. Oh, here's another little crawdad down here. Very cool. Okay, it's got a wall straight ahead of me. One thing I do have to be very careful for is flash flooding here, because Hinchinbrook seems to have its own little microclimate because of these mountains. So it'll be clear on the mainland, but you'll still see Hinchinbrook will be completely shrouded in rainy cloud. So I do need to be careful there. The forecast is looking sweet, but you never know. So I have to keep my ears out, and I'll have to always have a rough idea of where I'm going to go if a flash flood started to build. Sometimes you won't have any chance, but if I have some chance, I'm heading straight up there. But that's not going to come to that. Oh, it's getting a lot harder in terms of elevation now. It's a lot more vertical getting up these rocks. I think that is the guts of Mount Straloch right through here. I think that is where the bomber is. So, just need to carry on up, but I'm making good progress. Oh, hard slog. I believe that's a type of what's called a drosera, which is a carnivorous plant. They have sticky dewdrops on their leaves, and they use that to capture prey and then slowly digest them. Really cool. It's getting so much harder now. Come a long way up. There's the mainland out there. Just straight vertical rocks now. Ah, hard push. Very nice waterfall. Want more water? filter water bottle is so good. Beautiful cascade here. But it's a sheer rock wall, so I think I have to push into the bush and hope that it comes back around into the river gully. Oh, stunning. There's some rain clouds rolling in. Hopefully it doesn't turn into anything. Well, that would be not too good. I'll be stranded up here if it rains. Oh, ow. Okay, watch out for the slippery rocks. Piece of wreckage. Aluminium. Look at that. So I started from around that point. Nearly at the top. Here's part of a wing. Wow. Oh man. Wow. Part of an engine. Some sort of engine part. Some insignia here. See something down here as well. What an inhospitable place to crash. Well, here are the propellers. Part of an engine. And then scumbags who have put their names. Don't do that. mark their territory, eh? So yeah, 2 engines here, one here, one down here. Look at that instrument cluster. Just wreckage all through here. There's another instrument panel down here. This is hard going. Don't know. A bit sketchy. Just wreckage everywhere. Oh. Oh, nice. God, that was a tough slog. I didn't know I'd actually have to be doing rock climbing today. Now, in the 60s, funnily enough, a group of rock climbers did come up and they've put up a cross, a memorial cross for the fallen. Now, the 12 airmen that died, they did eventually bring the remains of their bodies down, and they're actually now in the United States. Pretty incredible. Very privileged to be up here. And this video is certainly dedicated to those brave lads that were fighting in the Pacific for Australian freedom, really. Australian and New Zealand freedom. God, brutal country. Gotta watch my step here. This is pretty dodgy. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, here's the fuselage. Oh. Wow. The landing gear. Gosh, that's insane. That's just incredible. Oh, looks like there's more. There's more up in here. Here's the rope. Oh. I'm exposed up here. Beautiful, what a spot. USAF Liberator, serial number 123825, crashed here 18th of December 1942. Well guys, I made it. God, what a mission. I think it's going to be more difficult going down. Less tiring, more difficult. I'll head down a bit and then have a feed. I'll probably grab a drink of water here. And the fuselage, or part of it, is behind me there in the bush. Probably go up and just check that out a little bit. And then we'll get out of here. In memory of Captain Balmer and crew of the Texas Terror. That plaque was put there in 1992. Here are the big engines. Incredible. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Here is the Texas Terror. Bit of a sad place, really. I mean, it is a memorial site. 12 people died here, but sad piece of history that should be cherished. Now, I have heard reports of there being 50 caliber machine guns and ammunition through the wreckage site, but it looks like that's been all potentially pilfered and stolen by people. So please, if you do come up here, no graffiti, don't take souvenirs, just leave it where it is. This is now a World Heritage Site, so that people like myself and yourself can come up here if they want to and actually remember those who died here and just enjoy getting out and about in the bush and seeing some of this incredible history. B24 Liberator, what an incredible piece of machinery back in the day. So I'm going to slowly head down, and I'll probably take a few shots when I'm back in the boat. Wish me luck. Beautiful. Very well in. What a mission. I'm almost back now. Not actually too far from the start of the mangrove swamp. Getting down was actually a lot more enjoyable than going up. It was technical, but it was just faster and yeah, just better. Oh man, alright. A couple more minutes and then it's time to head off.